Hi everyone, I am Rabia Rashdi and today I am going to talk about the trends and applications of LiDAR technology. So first I would like to give my introduction in Español. Hola, me llamo Rabia Rashdi, soy de Pakistán y soy de investigadora predoctoral en la Universidad de Vigo. Estoy haciendo mi tesis doctoral en España, financiada dentro de una red Marie Curie de la Unión Europea llamada Menelaus. Today I'm going to talk about, as I told you earlier, that it's about LiDAR. Okay, for centuries, we human beings are trying to see the world more around us. Okay, beyond seeing the world, we have added precisions to our sight by making tools to measure distances and ranges. A key one being is LiDAR. With the advancement of technologies, LiDAR have shown light to the discoveries that we have never even imagined of. Okay, so in today's presentation, we're going to talk about LiDARs, what is LiDAR, how it's trending, what are its applications, and what are its future expectations. So what is LiDAR? You have heard about radar, you have heard about sonar. So what is LiDAR? LiDAR stands for light detection and ranging. As radar uses radio waves, sonar uses sound waves. LiDAR, on the other hand, uses light pulses to scan the environment. It is a remote sensing technique, and it uses ultraviolet, visible and infrared rays to scan even small particles in high precision. Let's take an example of the plane landing. Okay, so in landing approach, the relative distance to the ground is very crucial, right? So what you're going to do, how would you gauge the distance where the human being cannot see? So in that place, LiDAR plays an important role. So LiDAR is not a new technology. It has been used by scientists for many years ago. The very first LiDAR was developed after the invention of lasers in 1960s for the application of meteorology, where the scientists used to measure the clouds. After that, it became the general public was aware of this technology during the Apollo 15 mission, where scientists used this LiDAR technology to measure the surface of the moon. And then in 1980s, the LiDAR was coupled with GPS and IMU, and it became viable and accurate tool for scientists. And then in 1990s, the very first airborne laser scanner was developed, and which measured the pulses from 2000 to 2500 pulses per second. Since then, LiDAR is an emerging remote sensing technology and have been used in wide applications from self-driving cars to city planning, road mapping, etc. So why are we using LiDAR? Why it's being used instead of radar in some application? So LiDAR is very good, as speaking of wavelengths, radar have very large wavelengths, which results in low resolution. Whereas LiDAR, it has very short wavelengths, which allows LiDAR to detect very small objects at higher precisions, at very long distance, etc. And also it works in both day and night conditions. And LiDAR, if you want to use a very precise location of any object, LiDAR is best for it. So how LiDAR works? What is the principle behind it? So LiDAR, the principle behind the LiDAR is light. So here in the diagram you can see the LiDAR emits light pulses to the object and calculates the time returning back to the sensor. So from these measurements, it calculates the distance and creates a three-dimensional map of the target. So with this formula, like the distance of the object is equal to speed of light into time of flight upon 2. So the principle is of time of flight. Formula, we can calculate the 3D maps, heights of the object, distance, etc. So now I will come to the main part of the LiDAR topic, that is applications. So number one is atmosphere. LiDAR is very useful in measuring the wind, studying aerosol, and profiling clouds. Also, it is very useful for quantifying the various components in the atmosphere. Second one is forestry. LiDAR has been used in dealing with forestry management to calculate the height of the trees, canopy size, and the density of the whole forest. So the third one is agriculture. LiDAR has saved a lot of time for the farmers. It can detect the insects on the crops. Also, it can measure the water flow and what's going on between the crops and all that stuff. Architects and construction planners are using this technology to map the spaces and also planning the projects of existing and also some alterations. LiDARs, in my project, the project that I'm doing in my PhD thesis is also based on construction, in civil work construction, in which I would be detecting the road assets automatically with the LiDAR data. So one of the hottest topics these days is self-driving cars. LiDAR is an eye for self-driving cars. How? It scans the environment around them and maps the 3D representation, and then it also helps to identify the objects. Furthermore, it helps to distinguish between the vehicles around them, the animals, the children, and also helps to take some specific precautions, such as like if the animal or children are passing by and the car can automatically slow down. Did you know that LiDARs have also been adopted by law enforcement? How? They have replaced radar guns into LiDAR guns to detect the speed of passing vehicles. Also, they have been used in forensic investigations for blood sampling and stuff like that. So, did you know that the recent iPhone 12 Pro is using LiDARs? So, with the help of this handy equipment, you can measure your friend's height, or you can measure the length of the table, anything around you. And also, it works very well in the night to capture the beautiful pictures. So far, I have discussed about the outdoor application of LiDAR, but also LiDAR have been adopted in indoor application, for example, in smart automation homes. So those were few of the applications that have been discovered so far. Also, there are many applications that I didn't mention in this presentation, like bathymetric LiDAR. The LiDAR have been used in archaeologists, and also LiDAR have been used in mining and oil and gas exploration. So, autonomous vehicles, smart homes, and infrastructure work together to create smart cities. So, LiDAR is taking a huge part in this smart cities. With the help of MEMS, fiber lasers, and also flash LiDARs are adopted by ADAS vehicles. Moreover, together with LiDARs, radars, and cameras, the LiDAR will open up new possibilities for the industry, and also in renewable energy. So, with the rapid and continuous development of LiDAR, cloud, artificial intelligence, and robotics, who knows what are the secrets that we may uncover that have been hidden around us. Thank you very much. I hope you liked my presentation and you found it interesting.